of change. Crypto dreams a brand new range. The future's here, no time to wait. Freedom's calling, let's create. Turning power to the people's hand. Together we'll reclaim this land. Join the alliance, take a stand for a brighter tomorrow. Everybody joins the crypto world. Break the chains, watch the future unfold. Decentralize, let your voice be heard. Everybody joins the crypto world. From wallets cold to markets high. Together we'll reach the sky. Knowledge share the guiding light. Invest with wisdom, shine so bright. Our alliance stands for liberty, shaping dreams into reality. A movement born in unity. It's the way we'll follow. Everybody joins the crypto world. Break the chains, watch the future unfold. Decentralize, let your voice be heard. Everybody joins the crypto world. There's no turning back.
Hello, everyone. Hello, crypto allies. How are you? What a great Sunday it is. Yep, what a great Sunday it is, coming to you live from San Antonio, Texas, to tell you more about how you can reach freedom through crypto. It is truly, truly an incredible possibility that we have right now going on with the world changing. Yes, indeed, the world is changing. Now, give me a like, hit that subscription button, and also give me a share. We have a lot to discuss today, and what we'll cover is, number one, why is it the best time ever to get into crypto? Because of a certain executive order that was signed. And number two is, if you want to be on the train to financial freedom, then I have for you the Crypto Fundamentals Bootcamp. I have a few friends who have asked me, can you go a little bit more over the details of what the bootcamp entails? So we'll do that after the news section, after I go over the executive order. And we will also try and answer a few very specific questions about what that person had. So hopefully you are with me. Let's get right into it. So why is it one of the most exciting times to be in crypto, no matter where you are really in the world? The crypto executive order, of course, was signed by President Trump, but it will impact the entire industry, the entire crypto industry, in very good ways, because most other nations will follow the regulations, especially in banking and in finance. And President Trump made it very clear. They had a big meeting in Davos where all the economic leaders met, and he said, I want America to be the crypto capital of the world. And that is a very, very powerful thing. Now, the executive order was worked on by a certain David Sachs. And what is really cool about David Sachs is that he comes out of the industry. He is not a professional politician. And that is very good. I remember when I was at university and I studied a very applied curriculum, we had certain professors who were not professional professors. They were entrepreneurs who came into our classroom and helped us learn applied knowledge. And in crypto, if you don't apply what you know, you can't actually make generational wealth. And I think we are in this very unique time where it is not too late, you can set yourself up in various strategies to really build up a nest egg for the future. So let's get this show started. It's going to be very exciting. Here we go. Okay, so let's look at a tweet by this David Sachs himself so that we understand why that is so significant and also what was decided in the executive order.
The man the president says is the man. David, thank you for joining us. First of all. Second of all, is this promises made, promises kept? Because Donald Trump said on July 27th that he would stop federal agencies from targeting the crypto industry. He made good on that promise today, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, President Trump campaigned to be the first crypto president. He gave a now famous speech in Nashville where he described.
By the way, I was actually present in Nashville when that speech was given. A very phenomenal speech. He announced all the things that he actually ended up doing, which were a few very powerful ones, namely the establishment of the crypto reserve, number one, freeing Ross, which Ross is Ross Ulbricht was someone who very early in his life created a crypto market platform, and that was unfortunately also used by bad people. A lot of good people used it, but also some bad people. So he was sentenced to life twice and incredible stuff. So Ross was freed. And then another set of executive orders that we'll look into now.
How he was going to change the regulatory environment for crypto. And he has now acted on that promise. He signed this executive order today. He's directed our working group to produce a regulatory framework that's going to encourage innovation in crypto in the United States, keeping the industry onshore rather than driving it offshore, which is what was happening under the Biden administration.
So I'm going to stop it here. This is a very important point. You know, when you create a legislative framework that drives the industry offshore, meaning into other countries, that is not good for us. And that is definitely not what we want, because it drives all the innovation, all the capital into countries that don't really benefit us. Now, again, I am an American at heart, so obviously I too want to see the future of crypto flourish here in the United States. And I believe it is the best place for that to happen because we have the best infrastructure and we have a certain economic weight that can really drive the course forward. So what happened specifically in this executive order, I'm going to go over these so you understand the importance of those orders. Very, very powerful stuff. First of all, there is very much a support of dollar-backed stablecoins. Stablecoins are digital currency that are always equivalent to the US dollar. Those are very important. For instance, if you make a trade and you make some profits and you want to take profit into something that is stable, that doesn't fluctuate in value, you exchange your coin that you're trading, for example, Solana, into a stable coin. Could be USDT, USDC, Ethena, there's lots of them. And what this executive order does is it really backs dollar-based stablecoins. Now, that is very important to have dollar-based stablecoins because obviously that is good for the United States dollar. Because in stablecoins, if you compare it to your checking account in your personal life or in your business, that is where you have the short-term reserves, right? That is where you have the cash that you need for purchases that are just around the corner. And you don't really want to fluctuate that. You don't need a high interest on it. And that's where you keep your short-term cash. And in the future, we want this to be dollar-backed stablecoins. Very, very powerful. I'm currently in a project involved, a decentralized finance project, where Filipinos who want to build up savings in a dollar stablecoin get access to do so via DeFi. Because if they wanted to do that with traditional banks, it's very difficult because the traditional banks in the Philippines are not interested in giving the simple man and woman business is nothing that is interesting to them because there's not enough volume. So there is a decentralized version for those individuals. And what I am doing, for instance, I'm providing liquidity for that project. And in return, I get some nice yield. So this is one of the examples, just one of many, many examples of how dollar-backed stablecoins are super important. I want to tell you another one. Imagine you have an operation overseas, maybe in the Middle East, selling oil or other minerals. And after the transaction happens in the local currency, maybe you want to immediately save that transaction into something that is stable, hence a stable coin. And then you also might want to send that money to the headquarters in the United States. Now, until now, that would take quite some time and there would be a lot of fees involved because there are several middlemen. It wouldn't be a surprise that it would take up to a week, maybe, to send several $1 million to HQ. But now that can all happen at a fraction of the cost and also, quite frankly, within a few minutes. I have purchased services across the globe already with crypto, partially with stablecoins, and I was able to send that money within seconds, really. And that is very powerful. So again, if the world has the dollar as its stable coin, if the world, just like the Filipinos, chooses to keep the dollar as their short-term reserve, that is very powerful for the dollar. That's very good for the United States. And as you know, that matters to me a lot because I think we are the only nation that has the necessary economic weight to make some very good and powerful things happen. Now, the next thing that was decided, which I think is very powerful, is the National Digital Asset Stockpile. So the terminology of this slightly goes away from the Bitcoin strategic reserve. And I think there's a good reason for it. And that is because it wants to be more all-encompassing toward other US-based digital projects, such as, for instance, Solana, Ripple. You might have heard of that. It's very important to understand the power of this element of the executive order. Here we have the president and his team saying there will be a national digital asset stockpile that recognizes, validates, and backs the value of those digital assets. And of course, there will be given a preference to US-based projects. That makes a lot of sense. Now, that is huge to me, and I believe you understand why that is so powerful. This is absolutely critical towards moving the agenda of legitimizing digital currencies forward. Absolutely huge. I love it. I love it. I love it. The next part, and by the way, if you like these news and you wonder, well, how does Shenka know all of that? Well, I watch hours and hours of videos and go through news for you. So if you want to get that news delivered in a newsletter, you want to join Crypto.lifestyle. Crypto.lifestyle is more than a newsletter, though. You immediately get a thank you video when you join that shows you in a very beginner-friendly way how to start in a relatively safe way investing into Bitcoin. Now, nothing I say on any of my channels is financial advice, but is definitely good education. Moreover, the bootcamp curriculum we will go over here very soon is attached to an offer, of course. It starts on Tuesday, 2 full days, Tuesday and Wednesday. And the only way where you can get access to that offer is you have to be part of that newsletter, okay? So go to the landing page, crypto.lifestyle, type in your email, it goes into my system, and I'll send you that within, it's automated, actually. You get it right away. So next, and this is a big one, guys, absolutely huge. It's the prohibition of central bank digital currency. Wow, why? Okay, so if you know anything about crypto, you understand that the concept of crypto is that it is decentralized, it is non-inflatable, it is trustless and permissionless. Okay, and what that means, we'll have to go into detail of that in the bootcamp or in other videos. But what that means, it stands for freedom and independence. And very importantly, what is really a big one is the non-inflatable part. Because as you know, most countries have the power to just print more money if they need it. And they often use that to do things that we as the citizens don't agree with, like fund wars or bail out big corporations that got themselves in trouble. And now we need to pay for the reparations of that. And there's no money in the system. So we just print more money, which is fine for them, but it literally diminishes the buying power of our savings. So that is something we don't want. And that is why definitely we have to prohibit a digital currency managed by a central bank, because it would essentially defy the entire purpose and ideology of the freedom through crypto. It would just be the same old in digital form. So now the banks don't even have to physically print the money to issue it or emit the loans through their network. They now have the power to just, with the press of a button, inject more capital in the system. And that is not good. That is not something you want. And there's also concerns that go into, well, if your main currency is a digital dollar that is centrally controlled, again, complete opposite of decentralized, that is centrally controlled, well, then that bank or the government or any big entity that wants control over you has absolutely 100% insight into every single transaction that you conduct. And that is a big, big danger, because we have seen throughout history, whenever there is a malicious government or a malicious authority, they definitely want to control how you spend your currency, right? So with digital currency, with the push of the button, it could say, you have reached your maximum of whatever, fill in the blank, your maximum budget to spend on alcohol, on entertainment. You cannot buy another luxury item this week. You get the idea. Okay, let's see what kind of comments we got. Yeah, Andrea understands the power of that, right? Says, wow. Saeed says he's a big fan of me. Thank you. I have a big fan in Saeed. He's always there for the live streams. Thank you, Saeed. That really feels good. Yeah, Andrea, it's totally crazy what would be possible if we had a CBDC. And here is the great thing. That is now absolutely prohibited. It's not going to happen. And here is proof of that. So let me make this bigger. This is a tweet by Senator Cynthia Lummis, and she is a big proponent of cryptocurrencies. And luckily, we will have her as the chairwoman of that committee that makes suggestions for digital assets. Now, in her tweet here from 3 days ago, she says that SAB 121 was disastrous for the banking industry and only stunted American innovation and advancement of digital assets. I'm thrilled to see it repealed and get the SEC back on track to fulfill its intended mission. So what is this connected to? This is not connected to the prohibition of the central bank digital currency. That is in place, and that is great. The Trump government prohibited anything that could potentially lead to it. But what Senator Lummis is talking about is custody of digital assets for banks. Did you know that your American banks were not allowed to hold Bitcoin on your behalf? And that is why, of course, I teach everyone how to hold it yourself. That's why there's an entire industry that evolved around cryptocurrency and central exchanges and all of those things. But your local bank around the corner was not allowed to hold your Bitcoin for you. And that is changing by this repeal, which is, of course, super powerful. Because first of all, if you don't have the technical capability to manage a digital wallet, and maybe you do because you're going to learn it from me, but maybe your mother or your grandmother doesn't, right? And they have a right to hold digital currencies. So now your US bank is allowed to do that. And if you think about it, by not allowing that, the former administration really put like a huge anchor on the movement, right? Because how can you promote an important asset if you're not allowed to legally hold it or simply hold it in simplified way? So yes, Andrea, you're absolutely right. Self-custody is freedom. I encourage everyone to learn how to self-custody, because even if you have a bank that holds it for you, that also in a way, now there is a place for it, but it also in a way defies the entire purpose of why this idea of cryptocurrency even occurred. Because when your bank holds your crypto for you, your bank holds it, you don't have it, right? So if something goes wrong, like the bank experiences a bank run or goes bankrupt, then you are out of your funds. Or the bank says, we don't like what you do with your money, we will block off the access to your account. Or the bank says, your government doesn't like what you do with your money, so we are forced to block access to your account. That is actually connected to something that President Trump criticized in front of the entire world, the Bank of America and JP Morgan in Davos, where he said, I think you're a little bit overly critical towards customers who are, well, he calls it conservative customers, right? And what the community said, a lot of cryptocurrency entrepreneurs were debanked, right? Now, I have to say that JP Morgan and Bank of America returned and said, well, listen, we would be very happy to have less legislation, but you are well, not you, but the government is over-regulating this space. So we have to tiptoe and walk around on eggshells to make sure that we are not fined millions of US dollars. And there's probably truth in that too, which is why it is so important that we have a government that is more of a that has more of a libertarian approach to the regulatory framework of that industry. Listen, crypto is the future. It's going to change everything. It's going to be so important. Two things, AI and crypto. And the third one is energy, by the way. Those things, if we as a US nation want to remain as influential as we have been in the past, then we need to be the leaders in that. Saeed asks, how can I find your YouTube channel? Yeah, just Google my name and you'll find it. Just Google my name, Shankar Ponsley. Type it into YouTube. You'll find it. The other way you can find it is by signing up to my newsletter. Again, that is crypto.lifestyle, because the welcome email has all the links to all my social channels in that first email. And I'm everywhere. I'm on Instagram, on TikTok, on X, on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on YouTube, on Rumble. And the reason that is important, dear crypto allies, is because I want to show you that I'm walking my own talk. You want to learn from someone who's actually doing all the things he or she claims, right? And it's too easy nowadays to say, oh, wow, well, I'm a millionaire and I made millions doing this. And then it's absolutely not the case. You know, they do that out of a rented mansion that they could barely afford, right? But you'll see in my social media that I travel all the time. I truly have a very luxurious lifestyle. And all of that is possible because I was super early in adopting Bitcoin. That's how everything started. And then I got into investing and trading, which really leads me to the next part of this bootcamp that starts on Tuesday, so January 28th. If you have all day Tuesday and Wednesday, you're going to spend with me and a group. And this was actually a question that was asked. So how many people have already signed up for this group? Well, I don't want it to be more than 20, okay? Because we have a lot to teach and a lot of ground to cover. But we already have 17 signed up, which means there's 3 spots left. And maybe 3 of you will take advantage of that, okay? And we'll go over the curriculum right now. So let me bring this up so we can take a closer look. Now, I'll say this is a draft, and this is not final. It's kind of a sneak peek into what I have in mind. And the challenge is a little bit that there's so much to cover. Incredible wealth of information to cover, which is kind of good. But I had to, and I'm doing this with Andrea, who is my partner in business and in life, amazing woman. And she's also the co-founder of the Crypto Alliance, by the way. And she is very good at understanding, okay, this is realistic. This might be a little bit overwhelming. So let me show you the curriculum now. And maybe you can, well, yeah, I mean, I was going to say maybe you can weigh in on what you think, but at the end of the day, that's my decision, not yours, right? But let's see. Let's bring this up. Here we are. Okay, so it will be a 2-day boot camp. And of course, in the morning, we'll get to know each other. And I will tell you that none of what I ever say is considered financial advice. It's just purely education. So we'll start with very important things such as assessing what kind of risk profile do I have? Do I need to be a saver, an investor, or a trader? Then we'll go into a little bit more detail of what cryptocurrency and blockchain are. This is not going to be a technical session where I'll turn you into an engineer, but you just understand what the tool is that you're working with, which really prevents a lot of scamming, right? Then we'll help you. We'll actually set up a Coinbase account or an alternative depending on where you live. By the way, what is highlighted in yellow, I believe, is what I will focus on. And what is not highlighted is just if we have time left, then we'll cover that as well. Okay. If you are interested to have a chance to get one of the three remaining spots for this bootcamp, by the way, you need to sign up on the landing page, crypto.lifestyle. Later today, I'll send an offer where you can join, okay? But you need to be part of my mailing list to have access to this offer. Then we'll purchase your first cryptocurrency, and we'll do that together. In the afternoon of day number 1, we'll also look at self-custody. Remember how I was saying, if your bank has your crypto, then you don't have it, right? Well, if the same thing kind of, if Coinbase has your crypto, then you still don't have it. And that's what we'll do, look at how you can own it yourself in a self-custody wallet. Of course, we need to know how to be safe, because unfortunately, because this is still very technical. In a way, it is very technical. So unfortunately, because it is technical, there are lots of things that you can do wrong. So we'll make sure you understand how to navigate everything safely. Then we will look at it's actually not Stripe platform integration, but it's Spritz. Okay, so I have to change that here. Spritz. There we go. So Spritz is really cool. I love it. It gives you a virtual debit card where you can spend your crypto in the US and in Europe, and you need to know how to set it up. Don't go and sign up now. We need to do that together. Again, we'll look at what it looks like to be a saver, an investor, a trader. We'll think a little bit based on your personal situation, because you might not be in the situation I am. I'm an entrepreneur. I have several streams of income. So my portfolio will probably look different to yours. Okay, and then we'll look at warning signs of overexposure. You don't want to be overexposed at all. Day 2, we'll look at the investment psychology. Very important, because I have lost a lot of money but made even more, and that was only possible because I had a strong control over my emotions. I had a strong psychology. This is so important. You have to understand that so I think this is fascinating. Over 80% of everyone who trades, and that goes for the stock market and for crypto, over 80% is losing money. Only 20% who makes money. And they make money because they have strong psychology and they stick to some very, very strict rules. And we'll look at those rules. So that's very important, because you want to be part of the 20%, don't you? Type in 20% in the chat if you want to be part of those. And this was a question I was given. So will we learn about analyzing what coins are new? Will we learn about opportunities? And will we learn about indicators? So there is 2 more advanced ways to interact in crypto. The first one is the investor, okay, where you need to spend about 1 hour per week to understand what is going on in the market. And you'll be taught what to look for, okay? The second one is being a trader, where you have to spend up to 4 hours every day behind your trading tools, and you have to know what kind of indicators to look for. You have to know, are we in a bull market? What kind of news are there? What's the macroeconomic situation? And then what are those indicators on the charts, the Fibonacci levels and all of that, the points of confluence of money inflow. And here's my answer to the question. Yes, we'll cover that, but in a very, very, very fundamental way, super beginner level. There's no way on earth that I can teach you all of that on an expert level or even intermediate level in only 2 days, okay? But with what I will show you, you will fully understand and be fully equipped to start your journey, because your journey in crypto towards financial independence is not going to happen. You're not going to be successful overnight. This is a skill that you need to learn over the course of several months, if not years. And the earlier you get started, and I'm talking about the advanced stuff, right? The investing and trading. I'm not talking about just being a saver. That can be learned much, much sooner, and can still be super, super important for your financial future, by the way, because Bitcoin, as you know, is set to hit $1 million US probably within the next 5 to 6 years. So I like analogies. Who here likes analogies? Yeah, Andrea, she wants to be part of the 20%. So let me give you an analogy. So let's assume for a moment you want to be a professional racer who drives these cars, the Formula 1 cars, right? So what I can do is I can take you to the car. I can even sit you in the car. I can explain all the instruments to you. I can even drive 1 or 2 laps with you. I can let you drive 1 lap. But that doesn't make you the world champion, right? The world champion needs to invest in his practice, needs to practice every day, needs to have a strong mind, a strong body, and also a strong fundamentals, strong skills. So it's the same here. Okay, so it is a boot camp, but it is one that takes you to the car, lets you sit in it, lets you take a test drive. You know, depending on what the market is during the boot camp, we might even place a trade together. That is what this is. It's not more. But here's the thing. I'll only show you what I am doing myself, and that's super strong. I'm not talking out of theory. I'm talking out of personal success, out of doing it myself. And if you like that, if you understand that learning something needs to be done from someone who's actually walking the talk, if you believe in that, right now, if you're seeing this live, you can put a question in the chat, by the way, if you have more questions. If you're seeing this live, all you need to do for now is join crypto.lifestyle, which is my newsletter list. 2 things will happen. The first one is you'll immediately get a welcome email that has a free recording for you. It's a link that shows you how to be a saver in Bitcoin. Very beginner friendly. And number 2 is by the end of the weekend, I'll send you an offer where you could potentially claim one of the 3 remaining seats for this bootcamp. You'll be the founder, by the way, one of the founding members of the Crypto Alliance, which is my new business. For those of you who don't know me, I'm basically the personification of the American business dream. I came here and I started as an employee. No, I was actually as a student. Then I worked, then I freelanced, then I had 1 company, then I had 2 companies, and then I became an investor. And I still have I have my company, right? So if you want to learn from a person like that, then join my crypto.lifestyle. Also get access to all of my social media accounts. As a bonus for only those who take the first bootcamp, by the way, as a bonus, there will be a weekly video that I will record for those who want to be investors. Remember how I said you need to understand what has gone on throughout the week so that you can make investment decisions? Well, since I already do the work, I'll record a summary for you with my ideas. That will be part of this as well, right? Another bonus is a Telegram group where you actually have access to a community where you can ask questions, and in case of doubt or whatever, sometimes you need a pep talk in investing, right? You place a trade, you lose 50K. It doesn't feel good that day. Well, the following day you make 100K, so you still come out of the week having won, but that day where you lost 50K doesn't feel good. You need a community. That's also included only for the founding members. So this is the first bootcamp. If you can't make it, there will be more in the future, but this one is kind of jam-packed with benefits, right? Okay, that's it for now. I think it's awesome that I had so many live viewers here. Put your questions in the chat, even if it is later, if maybe you watched the replay, and I'll make sure you get those answered. It is 11:09 a.m. Central Time here in San Antonio, and Andrea and I have a great tradition where we go and have some lunch at our favorite breakfast panaderia. So maybe we'll do that. Very likely we'll do that. We'll see. Okay, for now though, yes, Andrea, community is everything. It's so powerful. For now, I hope you stay safe and warm or cold, depending on where you are. And very soon, these live streams after the bootcamp, they'll come out of Europe. We'll spend some time in Amsterdam, in the UK, and possibly on one of the Canary Islands. So that's going to be exciting. For now, thank you for your time. Bye-bye. Shenka Ponsley, live from San Antonio, Texas. Over and out.